So when you're scanning for books, you are not looking for winning books. Yes, you heard that correctly. Hey guys, what's going on? It's David Mueller from Monetary Ocean, and today I'm going to be showing you guys what I found to be the fastest way to scan books, both on the shelf and at library sales or like book sales. So first of all, we have two basic layouts of books that you'll see pretty much everywhere. So the first one is going to be on the shelf, and that's going to be at your typical thrift stores wherever they have books displayed. So they're going to be up and down, as you can see. And the second type is going to be laying on its side, and it's going to be the binding up. So as you can see right here, these are the two main types. So the third type, which I'm not going to get into, is actually stacked up vertically with the binding facing outward. I've only seen this one place, and so just because of that reason, I'm not really going to get into it. So when you're scanning for books, you are not looking for winning books. You're basically weeding through the books that are not winners, and at the end, you'll be left with the winners. So you're going to be finding the winners, obviously, but your goal is to weed out the non-winners as fast as possible. So this can be done both in this technique I'm going to show you guys in scanning fast and also scanning often. So this is a key component of the scanning quickly, is scanning a lot of books, because as you scan more and more and more, you'll see books over and over and over in different types. You'll see trends very often. And if you keep note of these trends, you don't have to memorize the books. You'll see them a lot. Chicken Soup for the Soul, any Joel Osteen book, any James Cameron. You'll see these books everywhere. And if you can skip a whole row of them, you're literally saving yourself minutes, which eventually will add up. If you're scanning huge walls of books and you're able to cut out a majority of them just from the get-go, because you know and you've scanned them before that they're not going to be winners, then you're saving yourself time and you can get to that next location. Or you can even, if you're scanning against someone else, you can scan possibly more books that could be winners. So if they don't know what they're looking for, they might be scanning those first, and eventually, if you're just starting out, you're going to be that scanner. I'm sorry to say it, you're going to be that person that doesn't know, but that's the process. You have to learn, you have to scan the books. I wish there was a way I could count all the books I've ever scanned. Probably close to 100,000 at least, and that's a low number because you scan a lot of books that you don't keep. I've only sold somewhere in the ballpark of like 1,000 to about 1,200 books in about a year of Amazon, and the books that I haven't bought is completely outstanding to the books that I have bought. So it's just a numbers game. You have to scan a lot of books at the beginning, and so that's just basically the game. Alright, so I highly recommend having a wrist strap, and obviously this is an essential key to scanning books, is a barcode scanner. So I have my phone strapped in. I'm right-handed. I keep my scanner and my phone on my left hand, so that way I can operate with my right hand grabbing things because it's my more dominant hand. So this next part kind of depends on the app you're using. I prefer to use Scout or Scoutly or FBA Scan, but if you use Scout IQ, which is another very popular and good scouting app, it vibrates whenever there's a buy on any of these books. So with that going on, you can pretty much scan and not even look at your phone, and then you'll just feel it on your arm, or your phone will vibrate, or if you have headphones in, it'll notify you that way as well. So that way you can just pull it out and you can just keep moving. I like to just use this app. It's my more preferred app. So I'm going to go ahead. We want to start with the right side. Since this is the general setup, we're going to have the cover of the book on the right side, and then the barcode on the other side, moving across. I start with my right hand, have my scanner in a area where it's pretty much going to scan wherever I move it, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And we're basically just scooting the books forward, scanning the barcode as it pops out for us, we're scanning the 9 code. If it's something that is peelable, go ahead and peel it. If it's scannable, or if it's at ISBN number strictly, it's kind of your own judgment. I usually do scans first, and then I go back around and do the type-ins because for the most part, people are lazy and they just scan. So you can go back through and do the type-in and still find a lot of profit. So this is going to be your typical shelf setup right here. The books are going to be up and down. With this, it's pretty much going to be about the same. There's a couple different techniques, and this is kind of dependent on your style, how big your hands are, and what works best for you. I'm big on customization and doing what works best for you because everyone's situation is a little bit different. So sometimes I'll use, or for the most part, I am grabbing 3 books at a time. You can do 4. As like I said, if you have a big hand, you could do like 5 books at a time. I like to keep it consistent, either 3 books or 4 books. So that way I can do 3 books and then 3 books. So basically, here's how I do it. So I grab 3 books, scan, and then with my thumb, I'm pushing that one in, pulling it out, scan, scan. This is a little bit more difficult. This is kind of like an impromptu setup. I don't have an actual shelf to do this with. Usually you'll have some sort of a backing to it. Other cases you won't even have anything right here, so the book's going to be falling over. So you kind of have to work with your environment. So like I said, grab 3, scan, 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 push them back. Then because you're using either however many at a time, 3, 4, 5, you go 3 more over, grab, slide, boom, boom, boom. 3 more, boom, boom, boom. And as you get going, it's going to be much quicker. And once you get the hang of it, every now and again, you might lose track, which is why this method is a little bit more advanced. You can obviously just do the one at a time, which I do. I like to have like one finger on top and just kind of like tip the book out, scan, scan. This is taking a little bit longer, but like I said, I'll actually switch it up in between those 2 different techniques while I'm sourcing at all times. So like in some cases I'll do the 1 at a time, some cases I'll do the 3, 4 at a time, just whatever I'm feeling and however the books are set up, because sometimes you have a good nice shelf that the books are held nice and tight in there. Other times you are given places where there's no end caps to hold the books together, and you kind of have to, like I just said, work with your environment. So real quick, I'd like to say that I did use a timer, like a stopwatch, to test which of these methods was theoretically faster, and it came out to be about 1 second to 1.5 seconds faster using the multiple pull method. So this is, if you're trying to get through as many books as possible, this is going to be your best bet. Sometimes you're going to want to switch in between, just in case you see some book that catches your eye, either profit-wise or anything that you have to do some research on. Like if you just see one real quick, obviously you don't want to grab 3 at a time, but you want to be able to know the 2 fastest methods, so that way you can at your own discretion switch between the 2. But usually when I'm going, my go-to to start off with is going to be the multiple grab, just because like I said, on a row of, I believe it was 50 or 60 books, it was 1.5 seconds faster. Usually I'm scanning a lot more than 60 books, so that kind of time adds up. And I know it's super minuscule, 1 second faster, but I'm really all about that savings. As wherever I can save time, I'm going to save that time, because you only get one life, you only have 24 hours in a day, so I want to maximize it as much as possible. Even if you were a left hand, I don't know exactly how it's going to feel comfort-wise, but I recommend this technique just because the barcodes are going to be facing the left side, and you want to move from right to left. That is an essential key in speed scanning. You want to always go right to left just because of the barcode placement. I've tested left to right. I've tested all other techniques, and I found right to left the absolute key, regardless of the app you use, the scanner you use, anything else. That is the one constant you can always keep. I prefer to go top to bottom. Sometimes I'll go bottom to top. I never really start in the middle and work my way up or down. I always start either at the top or at the bottom. So if you guys stuck around for this long in the video, I highly appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. If you guys have any video suggestions, drop a comment below. Drop a like if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Hit that post notifications if you really show some love. And until next time, guys, this is David at Monetary Ocean. Don't wait. Dive in.